Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made in His durriyyah, don't block the door please, you can come here. So Allah made in His durriyyah prophets, exclusively from Him alayhi salam came all the prophets. Take her out please. Jazakallah khair. If one of the sisters can help me, let's lock the doors at this point. Presentation time, you can time me for maybe 15 minutes, inshallah. And then inshallah we can get the kids and everything for the drinks and meat. Talking about Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. First thing that comes to your mind, main and most important thing that we are trying to make is drawing some lessons, learning some lessons from the story of Ibrahim. Sisters, if you want to join us, Jazakumullah khairan, join us. If you are sitting to talk, you are in the wrong place. If you are sitting there in the dark to talk, you are in the wrong place. الأخوات اللي هيتكلموا مش وقت الكلام الآن لو سمحتوا. There is a place in here, join us, Allah يجزيكم الخير. أنا آسف, أعتذر, I apologize. What do you think of when we think of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam? What do you think of? What do we think of? When Prophet Ibrahim is mentioned. كان أمة عليه السلام. I got this. Do you have a specific point to pinpoint? We got a few chairs in here. This side, brother. Here.
He was Allah's Khalil.
He was?
Allah's Khalil. Khalilullah.
He was Khalil Rahman, Khalilullah, the friend, the intimate friend of Allah. I talked about this before somewhere. He was the friend of Allah. Khalil. Khalil is a close friend. He got to the level of being so close to Allah. What else?
The father of all prophets. The father of all prophets.
The father of all prophets after him. Take our example of our time nowadays. Respected and believed in by Christians, Jews, Muslims. They call them the Abrahamic faith. So,
first person to build the Dabour.
The first person to يرفع القواعد, to raise the building of Al-Kaaba. Al-Kaaba was built at the time of Adam and even before Adam by angels according to various narrations. And then Tufan, the flood came and washed it out. And then Ibrahim alayhi salam, Allah showed him. Where was he from, by the way? Which country nowadays?
From Iraq.
He knows because he's from Iraq. He was from Iraq, right? Sayyidina Ibrahim was an Iraqi. But he was not a terrorist, huh? Was he Shia or Sunni? Was he Shia or Sunnah, brother? He doesn't know. Anyways, was brother Ibrahim Shia or Sunnah?
كان وحداني.
كان توحيدي إلهي. See, that's what we make. We make ourselves into labels and names. If you follow Prophet Ibrahim, you wouldn't be Sunni or Shia. You would be directly getting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Imam al-Mursaleen, the best of all humans, he was ordered to take whom as an example? Ibrahim alayhi salam. ثم أوحينا إليك أن اتبع ملة إبراهيم. He's been given the permission. Think about it. Think about Sayyidina Ibrahim, girls. Think about Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam amongst what you think of. Amongst what we think of. We take a lot of people as examples in our time. Many of them are good people, but I guarantee you, nobody, no matter how good they become, they cannot even come close to say with Sayyidina Ibrahim or Sayyidina Muhammad or those prophets, because those are our examples. More about Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam.
He's the only person who survived the fire when they threw him in the fire.
He was the only person to be thrown, right?
Thrown and survived.
And he was survived from the fire. We're going to talk about this.
I want to say the ultimate Iman.
The what?
Ultimate Iman.
The ultimate Iman, the ultimate teacher who taught us Iman and faith in Allah. They're going to throw him in the fire. They told him, here you go, we're going to throw you in this big, huge fire. What did he say? Imagine, think about it. You are Muslim. Oh, we're going to call you names. Go home. Terrorist. What else do they call you? Girls. Did it ever happen to you? Anything? We hear a lot of names, right? They spit on one of the sisters in one of the restaurants here in Panama City, right? You know this story, right?
Recently?
It happened a few years back, several years back, just because she's Muslim. Did anything happen to you? Happens day and night, right? Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, they didn't spit at him, they did not call him names. They decided to make the biggest of fire. The biggest of fire. They had a big pit, not pit, big ditch or يعني حفرة يعني, and they made the biggest of fire that they could imagine. They collected wood for this fire for several months, for so long time before it. They didn't have enough woods for it. For a long time, they have been collecting wood to make the biggest of fire, just to burn one man. How much does it take to burn one man?
Not much.
I mean, this fire that we make, the bonfires that we make, we just get a bunch of woods, and that should be enough to burn a few people, right? May Allah save us from the fire. That would be enough. But they had to go really to the extreme. Why? Why would you call a sister names? Did you know her hair? Do you know she is good or bad just because she looks something that you do not like? Right? By the way, we blame others. Many times, brothers and sisters, we judge things with our perspective. From what I grow up with, I judge people. From what I see, from what it looks to me, right? You don't have to do that. Our religion, Prophet Ibrahim, Prophet Muhammad, all prophets are teaching us to never fail to find an excuse. Never fail to find an excuse for somebody. So let's learn that. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, they went to the extreme trying to punish him. Allah saved him. He was, all of that we learned from Ibrahim right there, right? The junior Ibrahim. He was the leader of faith. Have faith in Allah. Ibrahim alayhi salam, they said, we're going to throw you into the fire. I don't care. Do whatever you want. He kept saying what? Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Amongst other du'as that they say, oh Allah, you are the only one in the sky, the only Lord, and I am the only one on earth who worship you. That's it. Which means take care of me. And he was saying, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel, which means, anybody knows from the juniors, the girls, anybody knows what's Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel? Give it a try. Give it a try. Don't be shy. Hasbunallah, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel. Nada. Can you give it a try? Try, give it a try. Go to Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. What can it mean? Think about it. A. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel. Noor. Allah will judge me in the day of judgment. Not really. He will judge everybody, but that's not what it means. Hasbi Allah. Any boys? 10 years and under? 12 and under? Give it a try. Muhammad? Hasbi Allah. Nasir? I submit to Allah. Hasbi means sufficient for me. Enough for me is Allah. Enough for me is Allah. Allah is in my side, enough. Wa ni'mal wakeel. And He is ni'mah, is the best. He is the best of wakeel. Wakeel is somebody, like if I am leaning on something, depending on something, relying on something, that becomes somehow wakeel. Somebody that you put your trust in, you lean on, you rely on. So He said, I'm going to the fire, or they're sending me to the fire. Did you know how did they throw him in the fire? We all know, right? Who will remind us? How did they throw him in the fire?
Yes.
Al-Majaniq, which is like an old style of cannon kind of thing, that they put him into it, and they had to, had some kind of propulsion, and then release it, and then he flew all the way. Nobody could come close to the fire. They wouldn't come close to it and throw him like that. No, they first tied him, right? They tied Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, and they put him in this old style cannon bolt or something, and they threw him into the fire. And he was like, boom, jumping all the way, or being thrown all the way to the fire, and he fell into the fire. What did he feel? He made the dua to Allah. He put his trust in Allah. When you put your trust in Allah, what happens?
Allah protects.
That's it. You're protected. You're protected. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, everybody's looking for him. Tell me when. If you think the kids or the youth, tell me when, please. Everybody was looking for him. And the enemies made a big prize for anybody who gets him. Even killed, even if he's dead. Bring him, we need him. And he had to hide sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a cave. A cave is a place that's barely enough for you to get. Like under this table. Something like that. He hides sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he hid himself in the cave. And Abu Bakr was with him. When was this? Did you get it? When was it? When did this happen? In Mecca, in Medina, in Hijrah, in migration, after migration, in the sky. Where did it happen? In what? Hijrah. Noor, mashallah. Takbir to Noor. Beautiful. Allah يبارك نباتا حسنا. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the best year. So that was during Hijrah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is there. His trust is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The people came all the way. Those who got the swords, looking for him. Imagine this is the cave. He is hiding under it. And people are here. Obviously, it was rocks everywhere, just like one entrance that he came from. And if anybody would do that, they would see him and his friend. But they have their trust in Allah. Oh my God, swords. You know what a sword is like? It's like a huge knife. If you just see it, you will be terrified by how it looks. A lot of strong youth are all around the mouth of the cave, looking for him. He is there. Him and Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr is, a friend for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, if any one of them would just look down under his feet a little bit, they would have seen us. He said, Ya Abu Bakr, Ya Abu Bakr, ma dhannuka bithnayn. What do you think about two? There are two. Ibrahim alayhi salam was one, right? And the entire people against him. He didn't care. My hasbi in Allah, my sufficient, my wakil is Allah. Always say that. If something is hard, if something is bothering you, what do you say? Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us every single morning after Salatul Fajr that we say Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. How many times? 7 times. You start with your day saying, my trust, my wakil, my faith, my reliance is all in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine if you start your day with that. You wouldn't have to worry about anything. So he put his trust in Allah. He doesn't care sallallahu alayhi wa sallam about who are those who are trying to go after him. And guess what? Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because he put his trust in Allah, did they get him? He was there. They said no, it looks like he's not here. And some narrations mention about the spider web and everything. He said no, if he entered from here, this spider web should have been broken or something. No, let's leave. And they left. He was there. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam was probably more wonderful or more amazing thing that they throw him into the fire. And guess what? He is now falling into the huge fire. And something, only one little piece of him, it's not literally from him, on him if you like, that caught fire. What was it? Chain. It's not a chain, it's the rope or the al-qaid, the thing that they tied him up with, the rope. Only this thing caught fire. What about Sayyidina Ibrahim? What about his body? What about his clothes? Nothing. They are watching him. If you read in al-Bidayah, in the books of Sirah or Tarikh, he's there. They can see him. He is moving. But he cannot come out. They cannot come in. He is moving. He is sitting. He is sleeping. Actually, when he came out, he said, he was asked later, what are the best time or best hours or best days of your life? He said, Wallahi, the best days ever that I experienced were those days when I was thrown in the fire. He's been in the fire for a long time. We don't have to talk about was it 3 days, was it 40 days. Some narrations goes up to 50 days. He was in the fire for 50 days. People go home, come back. He's there, enjoying everything. In the fire, inside the huge fire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once he put his trust in Allah, no matter how much time it takes us from here, we don't want to go anywhere, but we have to get the lesson from here. He said, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel. And we all know the narration in al-Bukhari. When Jibreel alayhi salam came to him, as he was in the fire, it was like a long travel, kind of long jump, if you like. He said, Jibreel, we know who is Jibreel, the huge, the archangel, the main angel. He said, can I do anything for you? Can I help you? ألك حاجة? And he said, أما إليك فلا. As far as, need or help from you, no thank you. وأما إلى الله فحسبي الله ونعم الوكيل. But as far as my need to Allah, yes, حسبي Allah. Sufficient is Allah for me, and He is نعم الوكيل, the best of wakil. Can we all, kids, girls, boys, brothers, fathers, mothers, everybody, can we all try to say it and mean it from our heart? Say after me if you don't mind. حسبي الله
حسبي الله
ونعم الوكيل
ونعم الوكيل
حسبي الله
حسبي الله
ونعم الوكيل.
ونعم الوكيل.
We see dhulm, we see oppression, we see Muslims and kids being cut into pieces. We say حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. Yes, inshallah, if anything that we can do, we will do, but at least let's not lose our faith. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. It worked with Sayyidina Ibrahim. Right after he said it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as he said in the Quran, قُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُونِي بَرْدًا. Allah said, oh fire, be bardan, cool. وَسَلَامًا عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيم. And peace for Ibrahim. I think it was Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Abbas, he said, Allah ordered the fire to be cool. Wallahi, if Allah didn't say, and peace, be cool and peaceful, it would have been like freezing. Any fire after that would have been freezing. Or fire of Sinai would be freezing. But he said, bardan wa salaman. And it was bardan wa salaman. Peaceful, nice, even though he's in the middle of the fire, but Allah is taking care of you. If Allah is taking care of you, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about anything. Just put your trust in Him, take Him as your wakil, and He will save you like He saved Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Story of Sayyidina Ibrahim begins from early on. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ. We have given Sayyidina Ibrahim the guidance from early on, even before he became a prophet, at old age. No, at young age, Allah said in the Quran, at very early age, he was guided. He was so smart. He did not do a lot of the weird, crazy things that everybody else is doing it. He did not. Because Allah has given him his rushd. Same happened to Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ. Everybody's going to playing games and things and crazy things at early age. Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ was not engaging himself with all of this. Sayyidina Ibrahim also from young age. You read his story, it's probably so many stories. His story with kings later on, like Bukhtanasr or Namrud. His story with his own people who used to worship the stars and who used to worship stones as well. His story with Sarah, with the Pharaoh in Egypt when he visited Egypt. His story with Ismail alayhi salam when he rebuilt the Kaaba. His story with so many stories in different places, different times with so many people. From early on, what he saw around him was not making any sense for him. People craving stones, calling them gods, and then starting to worship them did not make any sense for him. So do not be just fooled by anything that everybody, even if everybody is doing it. Oh, everybody's doing whatever it is. Is it right or wrong? That's what you have to think of. Think for yourself. If something is bad, even if everybody at the face of earth are doing it, it's still bad. And if something is good, even if nobody is doing it, it is still good. Good is good and bad is bad. Let's learn that from Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Anything else that we learned from Sayyidina Ibrahim? We don't want to stay long with the details of the stories. Inshallah, we will stay with Sayyidina Ibrahim for a few weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But let's learn generally. What do we learn generally from him alayhi salam? Couple of our lessons.
Always put your trust on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's the most important thing. Always, no matter what, you're facing a king, like Pharaoh, or like this guy in Namrud, Surah Al-Baqarah, who said, I'm God, I can give life, I can take life. He kept his patience, he had his trust in Allah, and he was so smart, and he was talking with everybody in this way. He was trying to convince his people. So always put your trust in Allah. Any other lessons from Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam? What do you learn from Sayyidina Ibrahim? Nada.
Never compromise.
I didn't get it.
Never compromise in your faith.
Never compromise. Never compromise in your faith. Very important. Your faith is the most important thing. You don't want to compromise in your faith. That doesn't mean you take everybody as an enemy. No. But there is definitely a line that we have to draw. A line that we have to stick to. This is my faith. That's what I believe. It does not mean that I become enemy of everybody who do not believe, who believes otherwise, or who do not believe my faith. No. But there is definitely a line that I do not compromise. That I have to stop there. Right? Many people are compromising faith in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right now, they believe others who do not have faith in Sayyidina Muhammad, they are okay. It is not okay. It is not okay. What's going to happen to them, it's not my business. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge people. I know for sure, for anybody to make it to Jannah, right now, based on the Quran that Allah revealed, you have to accept Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is the only way to, and the final way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Couple more lessons.
He did not hesitate to sacrifice his son, for Allah.
Full submission to Allah. That's a lesson that we need to stay with for a couple of nights. Full submission to Allah, because he did not hesitate, even when it comes to slaughtering his son, sacrificing his son. Allah ordered him, take your son, slaughter him. Oh my God, what kind of God is this? Astaghfirullah. Why do you want to be? Allah, give us mind, ya akhi. Let's think about it. This shouldn't be from Allah. I'm just using the mentality and logic of some people. That, no, Ibrahim is crazy. Ibrahim is, no, he was not crazy. No, Allah orders you to do something. Do not judge Allah by your mind. My mind doesn't accept it. No, you're not Allah. You're not Prophet. You're not. Submission. Let's submit. The very essence of divinity is logical. Allah exists, being as God. This is very logical. Unlike the faith of others in God. No, our faith is very logical. Once Allah is established, it's so easy to prove Him that He exists. Through the creation, through everything that we see around. Then, once it is proven that you take Him as God, do not just, before you listen to Him, use your mind in everything. Not because Allah doesn't want you to use your mind, no. Because your mind and your own intellectual thought system might not guide you all the time. It is definitely something very important to count on. Yet, many times we change our minds and thoughts and everything. Allah knows better. So Ibrahim alayhi salam put his full submission in Allah. Ya Allah, you want me to slaughter my son? I slaughter my son. He slaughtered his son, or he started to do it. It didn't work out. Couple of more lessons, Yahuda. He's just testing him. He's just testing him to see whether you listen to me, or you say, no, my son is as dear to my heart and can't do it. It's too hard. He's just testing him. So Allah is just testing us, all of us, like a few things here and there. Would you eat that? Or don't eat it because I say don't eat it. Would you do that? Would you dress that? Would you speak like that? Would you carry those akhlaq and manners and be good to others because of Allah? Or you say no, I don't really care. That's the test. Okay, so Muhammad, ask Allah beforehand. Put Allah number one, Azza wa Jalla. Jazakallah khair. I need to accommodate everybody. You raised your hand sometime back. I'm sorry.
Just pointing to the
Oh, okay. Allah is khair. Any other lessons of Sayyidina?
The essence of Tawheed, when he talked to his dad, he didn't say that I fear that Allah will give me a punishment. I fear that Inni Allah wa yamsik Adam min ar-Rahman, that the most merciful punishment. So it's showing how great was sin that shirk is, that the most merciful punishment for them.
Okay, he said he was not like threatening his father. He was just talking in a very caring way to his father. His father was an idol worshipper. Actually, he was an idol producer. He used to be the one who craves the stones and sell them. And he said, "Inni akhaf, I am afraid for you that a punishment will come to you from the most merciful." Can somebody take the kids and play with them outside? Okay. He said, Allah is the most merciful. And for a punishment to come to you from Him, you should be a loser. Do not get to that level, because He is giving an abundant mercy. You don't want to lose that. The essence of Tawheed is there, which is the most important thing. Jazakallah khair. Anybody raise his hand?
Never would doubt when you believe in Allah, never in your mind put any doubt in Him.
Never have any doubt. Have, a very stable faith, established faith in Allah. But I made dua to Allah. But I did that. Don't test Allah. Just have your faith in Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will choose the best for you. Boys, girls, anybody? We will continue with Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Think about Sayyidina Ibrahim. Live with him. Go read about him a little bit. Read the same ayat, the same stories that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned to us in the Quran. Read it with from the perspective of getting guidance. Wallahi, you will see a lot of things very relevant to our time, very relevant to you and to me and to our kids, to everything that we are going through. Just read the story of the same story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, and we will get a lot from it. I hope I'm not skipping anybody. If you raised your hand before, طيب جزاكم الله خيرا وصلى الله سيدنا محمد وعليه وسلم. 5 minutes inshallah for the kids. We will serve you at the end inshallah. This is a good chance for our parents or everybody to get tea, and then we start serving you. 5 minutes inshallah, and then we continue the nice talk and the nice presentation, the money talk, right? Financial talk and Wall Street things with the brother Osama inshallah in a few minutes. Shall we, sisters, you can go ahead.